right, we got some people joining in. Hello, everybody. Hello. All right. Hello, everybody. Happy for you to join us on this Tuesday night. So if you know, we're going to wait for a few more people to hop in as it just hit 7. But if you know where your student is living, what building they are in this fall semester, throw it in the chat and we'll see where all of our families are living this year. We got Bone Hall, Blanton Hall, Machuga, The Heights, yeah, Stone, Bone. A lot of freshmen in Bone. The Heights, Denalo, Stone, nice. Blanton. A lot of freshman families on the call tonight. Nice to have you here. Freeman, that's a good one. That's a good one. Awesome. All main campus. I don't see any apartment live-in tonight, but that's okay. A lot of Blanton, a lot of Bone. Machuga, The Heights, junior transfer. Okay. Awesome, guys. Sinatra, Machuga Heights. We're gonna wait a few more minutes. For everyone here tonight, you will receive an email by the earliest tomorrow, but at the latest next week. We are recording this webinar tonight, so if you want to come back to it or share with your student, you'll get that email tomorrow or again by the latest next week. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat or wait until the end and you can unmute yourself at the end of the webinar and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. Let's check the chat out. We tried to get in to check but kept getting an error message. That's all right. Still don't know where my son will live. Maybe we can help you with that later. We can get you to email us and we'll check it out. Machuga and Blanton. Machuga, perfect. We'll wait 2 more minutes. All right. I see your questions in the chat. If we don't answer them during the webinar, we'll definitely get to them at the end. Some of them are a little specific. So Bethany and Quinn are here tonight from Res Life to answer all your questions, present on move-in, the process, and just make it a little bit easier for all of you. And they're happy to be here tonight. All right. Alrighty. So Bethany, Quinn, if you want to introduce yourselves and get started.
Hi, I'm Bethany. I'm the residential communication specialist for Res Life. I sit up front. If you call, most likely either myself or Quinn are going to be the first people that you make contact with. So if you want to introduce yourself, Quinn.
Hi, yes, I'm currently working over the summer as an office assistant in the main Res Life office. I'm going into my senior year at Montclair, and I'm going to be coming back with Res Life as a CA in Machuga. So if you guys are living there, I'll probably see you around.
So a CA is a community assistant, basically the support system for our residents overnight in the building. We have plenty of different positions that are there to support your students, but CAs are one of our most integral. So we're really excited to have Quinn here tonight. So tonight we're just going to be going over move-in day, what the process is like, what you can expect, the exciting things that we have going on. So we are so excited to have you here. We are so excited to welcome your students this fall and get them all moved into their residence hall. So I'm just going to get started. So this year we're super excited to have four move-in days. So the first is August 24th and August 25th. Those are primarily our first year move-in days. And then August 26th and 27th are our returner move-in days. For our first year move-in days, those are going to be primarily the day before your students' orientation. These dates were emailed to the students at their Montclair email. And they're broken into 1 hour shifts at a time. This is just so that we have the availability of the keys for your student to come in, get their stuff. You have as long as you want to move in, as long as you come within your hour slot to pick up your key. So how the process is going to work, the university police department are super helpful on move-in day. If you have any questions about where you're going, they're going to direct you to your building. There's specific areas of the campus where you come in, which should be communicated to you. But if you come in the wrong area, do not stress. The police department are there to guide you. Your student should bring an ID. If they're a returner, it should be their school ID that they received last year. If for some reason they don't know where that ID is, definitely reach out to the ID office before returning so that we can get you a new copy. And then the other thing they're going to need is the Hawk Pass, which we'll go over what the Hawk Pass is in a second. They're going to bring both of those to the front desk of the building that they're moving into. And that's where they'll receive their key. And if they're a new student, they'll receive their student ID. If they need to receive their student ID, they will need some form of picture ID. So whether that's a passport, a license, if you have specific questions about the requirement for IDs, you can reach out to us at any point. Our contact information will be at the end of the presentation. So they'll bring that to the front desk. In the meantime, the family should stay with the car. You'll be guided up to the front of the building so you're not moving the stuff too far. You have about 10 minutes to unload the car. If it goes a little over 10 minutes, we're not going to fine you. There's no big deal. Just take the time that you need. We just want to keep things moving because we do have a lot of students moving in at the same time. And someone must stay with the car at all times. We don't want to abandon it. So if you just designate someone to stay with the car, everything will be fine. The police department will be there. You don't want to be the person that gets the announcement over the loudspeaker saying that your car was left unattended. So we just highly recommend designating that person ahead of time. Again, we'll be taking any questions at the end. So if any of this is confusing, just let us know and we'd be more than happy to clarify. So the Hawk Pass, this is something that's going to be emailed to your student before the day of move-in. So there are 4 requirements. One is they need their immunizations in and submitted and accepted by the health center. There are exemptions. So if you believe you have an exemption reason, you can also reach out to the student health center. If you contact our office, we'll be more than happy to forward you to them. Your bill needs to be in good standing. So this means that with aid, that anything needs to be under a $3,000 balance. We also can connect you to the financial aid office if you have any questions about this. The emergency contact information needs to be filled out on Nest. So we can help the students with this if they have any issues with it. This is the easiest one to fix on the day. And then the housing agreement needs to be filled out. If your student has housing, there's a 99% chance they already did their housing agreement and this is nothing to worry about. So all of these things need to be completed and they will be checked before we give your student their ID or their key. Some ideas of what you're going to need to bring. So students should bring cleaning supplies, twin XL bedding, towels, their toiletries, fans, especially if you're in Bone or Freeman, as those buildings do not have air conditioning, you're going to want fans. But either way, they're just helpful to have. Lamps, especially if you're in Freeman, surge protectors. So these should be the ones with auto shut off. We don't want extension cords. This just protects your belongings if there were anything to ever happen, but also it protects our buildings. Laundry supplies. Laundry is free, which is amazing. That's something great that Montclair offers. But you do want to still provide the detergent and if you use fabric softener. Coffee makers are a-okay as long as they have auto shut off. And then a fridge, 3.5 cubic feet is the the limit on that, and there is one per room. So if your student does have a roommate, they should be communicating with that roommate, as well as a microwave. The limit is 700 watts. We do have an option to rent these. I did provide the link later in this presentation for if you did want to rent those. So if you rent them, they do get delivered to your room ahead of time, which just takes some stress away on the day. If you plan on bringing your own fridge, while we do provide moving bins, we do recommend bringing a dolly just to move the fridge. But if not, they do fit in our moving bins. And then some things not to bring, extension cords, like I talked about, neon signs and LED lights, those are prohibited. Candles, because it's a fire safety issue. No wooden or fabric furniture. No air conditioners, no bed risers. Our beds do rise up to 36 inches, so you do not need those. No curtains, no electric bikes or scooters, and no unapproved pets. If your student has an emotional support animal or a fish, that is okay, but there are limits on that. But those are some items not to bring. This is available on our website. If you just Google Montclair what to bring, there's an even more extensive list than what I've provided today. And it gives you some great ideas of what stuff you will need to provide. Like I mentioned before, you can rent your fridge. So we have micro fridge at mymicrofridge.com. They will deliver those to the room prior to your student moving in, and they will be available for the semester. You do not own them, you rent them. And then at the end of the semester, they come and pick them up and take them out. You are more than free to provide your own microwave and fridge if you decide to do so, but that is an option for you if that's not something that you want to purchase. And then welcome team, this is something that is near and dear to my heart, something that I am in charge of and I absolutely love. We have over 220 volunteer students that will be around campus for all move-in days this year, whether your student's a new student or returner. They do primarily come for our Greek life department. So students that are involved in Greek life will help your students move in. They are able to help direct. They're able to help answer any questions. They're going to be the ones checking your hawk pass before you get into the building to make sure that you have all your requirements filled out. And they're also able to push moving bins. So if you have any limitations about what you can push, we can absolutely help with that. The only limitation is that they're not allowed to lift anything. That is just a liability issue so that we don't run into us breaking anything. And yeah, they are wonderful students. They're really excited to help. I know so many of them are just dying to answer your students' questions, make them feel welcome. So please feel free to utilize those people on the day. So now I just want to get a student perspective from our senior community assistant, Quinn Rist. Quinn has been through move-in multiple times with us, both as a student and as a student staff member. So we're just going to let him talk a little bit about what that experience is like. Quinn?
Hi, yes. So my experience with move-in has been overall positive. I've primarily been in the Heights through my years here, but I know across the buildings, move-in is relatively the same, just in a different spot. Overall, having the welcome team is something that's really great. I've been to two other universities before, and honestly, Montclair has had the most smooth, like welcome and move-in process. Basically there's a lot of student staff there as well as the welcome team. If you have like those really like weird, odd specific questions day of, they're really helpful and like really knowledgeable and ready to help and very willing to answer any questions. Overall, I would just say that move in and like coming to a new school, or even if you're returning, can be really overwhelming and really confusing. And overall, like the Res Life staff and the welcome team makes it a lot more smooth and less overwhelming of a process.
Thank you so much. So this is our contact information. So the Office of Residence Life is located on the fourth floor of Bone Hall. If you are trying to find that, there is a staircase to the left side of Bone Hall. You're going to go down that staircase and we're located right at the bottom. Just use the first door, not the second door. We see people make that mistake every day. And then that is our phone number and our email. The one thing I do want to make clear is that ResLife has very specific standards and laws around what information we can disclose without your student present. We can give you general information, but we cannot give specific information such as where they're living or their move-in dates without your student being present. So if you are going to call us for either of those things, just make sure that your student is present so that we can provide you with that information. We're more than happy to help. We just also have to follow the law. But with that, I wanted this to be more guided about what your questions are, things that maybe haven't been communicated yet. So if you have any questions, we are here to answer them, both myself and Quinn. I've been with the department only for one move-in now, but it went exceptionally smooth last year. So I think that we are very prepared. And again, like I said, we're very excited for this year. So any questions that you have, we are here to answer.
Questions and.
Okay.
Kelsey, do you want to control who
Yes.
is?
I will. So Connor, you have your hand raised. Do you want to unmute yourself and
Sure. Just wanted to, Amir, does some of the things mentioned, are there some things that I should be aware of that might be different or do not apply to because I'm a Bloomfield student?
So we do not currently have welcome team on the Bloomfield campus. That is the only thing that's different as far as going in and picking up your key at the front desk. We have a lot of staff available over there. They have RAs there as opposed to the CAs that we have on our campus. Those RAs are ready and willing to help with whatever you need. We also have different contact information that I can throw in the chat for the Bloomfield campus. But we are very excited to be welcoming some of our Montclair students to our Bloomfield campus as well as our Bloomfield students. We tried this last year and it worked out very nicely. It's a really, really great campus. I personally toured and it is beautiful over there. Really wonderful place to be. But let me get that contact info for you and I'll throw it in the chat.
Okay, thank you. Oh, sorry. It looks like my mic was.
Connor?
Can I ask if we'll get a copy of this presentation after
It is
attending?
recorded. You will get it by the earliest tomorrow, at the latest next week.
Watch it.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I'm taking notes of the questions I was not able to answer in the chat. So the first one is if we'll be able to receive our student ID as freshmen on the day of, we won't need a Hawk Pass, right?
So you will receive your student ID on the day of. They will have it in the building along with your room key, but you will need the Hawk Pass. So just make sure that those 4 things are taken care of. The bill, the vaccinations, the agreement, and the emergency contact information.
Okay, great. Are there any regulations regarding sticking stuff on walls? Like, for example, no command strips or scotch tape or anything like that?
We recommend using the blue painter's tape, as that tends to not pull the paint off. You're allowed to use command strips, just there could be a charge affiliated with if you do rip that paint off. So either be very careful with them or, in my recommendation, use blue painter's tape.
Okay, we're getting a lot of questions about what is the Hawk Pass.
It's just a virtual thing that's emailed to say that you are good to go to move in. So you'll just get an email with a picture saying Hawk Pass. You show that to the front desk. First, you're going to show it to the welcome team because they're going to be checking this year to make sure you have it. If for some reason something is missing, we just send you to our one-stop stop at Cole Hall. But if you have everything, you're able to just show that to the welcome team or to the student staff members, and that will be the A-OK, you're good to move in email. So if you don't have that, don't panic. We'll work with you, try to get that figured out. But if you don't, you will not be able to receive your key and ID.
Great. I did see a question about if you are in a payment plan, do you not get your Hawk Pass? Enrolling in a payment plan satisfies your bill, technically to get your Hawk Pass. So you are good if you are in a payment plan. And then when should they expect to get the Hawk Pass?
We usually send them out the week prior to move-in to give you time to figure it out if for some reason you don't get one. So I would expect if move-in is starting on the 24th, I would expect it around Monday next week, the 18th.
Okay, great. Where do parents park their car after drop-off?
We have a lot of different options. There's car park or like parking lots next to the buildings. They're not going to be ticketing those days as far as I know, if you park in a parking lot, but car park DM for the majority of the buildings is your best bet. except like if you're in like Freeman or Russ, those are kind of on the other side of campus. So just whatever the parking lot closest to you is, we'll work with people and understand that, you know, you need somewhere to park.
Okay. Do students have PO boxes to receive mail?
It depends on the building. Most of them do have mailboxes. Hawk Crossing is the only one where the address is a little different. That information can be accessed on our website for their exact mailing address. Usually it's just the room number, the building, and then the room number. And then they either come to the building if they're small letters, or if they're big packages, they do go through our lot 60, which is a destination for your student to pick up their packages.
Is the process the same for athletes moving in on the 15th?
So athletes moving in early, the process is the same, except we will not have, unfortunately, the welcome team available, since there is a limited number of students moving in. They also, we don't necessarily check the Hawk Pass early on, but those requirements are still in place at the start of the 24th. So you should have those things filled out, but we also understand there is a little lenience with the fact that the bills have not necessarily fully been distributed yet. And you know, loans haven't necessarily been dispersed, so we are a little more understanding. So it is the same process. Go to the front of your building and receive your key and your ID, but there is a little more leniency as far as billing.
I see a Samsung has their hand raised. Would you like to unmute yourself?
Hi, sorry, I just had two quick questions. The first, when you guys say no LED lights, is that specifically for light strips or any kind of LED light?
Only the strips, just because they are known to rip the paint off of the walls. That's more
Okay.
for your protection so you don't get charged.
Okay, so something like an LED lamp would be fine.
Yes, an LED lamp is fine.
Okay. And the other, I know on the website it says it's only one fridge and one microwave per room. If you're in a suite with like two singles, is that one per suite or one per each of those rooms?
One per each of those rooms, so one per single.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Great questions. Next, more about like arriving. Are we to report directly to the assigned residence hall and park outside of the dorm when we get there, or do we park somewhere else first to check in?
You will park directly outside of the residence hall. So unless you're driving yourself, if you're a student moving yourself in, I would recommend parking and then going to get your key, just because you need someone with the car. If you're coming as a family, the welcome team is going to help you start unloading while your student gets in and gets their key, just for efficiency, because we do have a lot of people moving in at the same time.
What if someone would like to change their room assignment?
We have a room change request form available on the residential management system, so also known as RMS. If you need to access it, you can search RMS on the website, the Montclair website, or you can contact us and we can email you the link. I can go back to that contact information just so it's available. And that would be the best way. If there's an extenuating circumstance and it needs to happen faster, I would recommend emailing us, but I will let you know that we are a little inundated with emails. So if you follow up with a call, we will not be annoyed. We will be willing to help. There's a lot going on right now as far as residence life as we try and get everyone moved in. So our reply time is just a little slower than usual, but we will get to you.
Thank you. Candace, would you like to unmute yourself?
Yes. Hi. I had a quick question with regards to moving. We have been trying to contact like financial aid, and one of the requirements to get the Hawk Pass is for the balance to be under $3,000. What do we do, or what do you guys suggest in regards to if a student has outside scholarships coming in and like loans, the federal loans, the private loans, so they're all taking process to hit the account, so we're like running into crunch time? And then she did go to the summer bridge program, but I don't know if you guys are gonna let her move in and when that money's gonna hit.
Yes, I know that the financial aid has, I don't think, not yet noted on students' accounts. So there is more time to satisfy your bill. They are a little, Red Hawk Central totally understands this. There is also the payment plan. So again, like if you are enrolled in a payment plan, that will satisfy your bill, and that payment plan will update as soon as your financial aid hits. So your monthly bill will change once that financial aid hits your student's account. So I think that would be the best way to go about satisfying the bill.
Yeah, I just didn't know like the time frame, because again, the private loan and the scholarship, the outside scholarship is covering the full balance. So I I guess what you're saying is do a payment plan, and then I would have to pay so that balance would be under 3,000 for her to move in, if it's still a balance at that moving date.
I'm not totally sure, to g I'm not 100% to give you that advice. If you want, you can reach out to Red Hawk Central. You can find their information on the website, and they can talk you through your options more thoroughly, and look at your student's account. Um, but I think right now, from my knowledge, enrolling in a payment plan might be the best option if it has not hit by that deadline. You still have plenty of time though. There's still 2 weeks until move-in, and you will be reimbursed once your financial aid hits. But again, talk to Red Hawk Central. They'll be able to give you all of your options and better advice.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. All right. How do we find out and get in touch with our roommates?
So on that RMS portal that I discussed before, the roommate management system, you can access your roommate's email and reach out to them through there. If you're having an issue and you have an extenuating circumstance, reach out to us. We can see if there's anything we can do to get in contact with them. But if not, I would recommend just reaching out via that email.
Great. Next question. We went over that. Went over that. Went over that. If a rental truck is used for drop-off, where can the truck be parked after drop-off?
That is a great question. I'm not 100% sure. Our parking lot is big, depending what building that you're moving into. So there are parking spots that will be available. I would reach out specifically to the office to ask that question. Again, our contact information is on the screen, and we can give you a better idea, or you can reach out to parking services to see if there's spots that are specifically designated for those. But we'll connect you with the right office if you reach out to us.
Do we need an actual floor lamp for the dorm?
If you're in Freeman Hall, I would recommend it just because I don't believe there's overhead lighting in Freeman Hall, but any other hall has overhead lighting. So we just recommend a desk lamp, or if you want to, work in bed when your roommate's trying to sleep, that's when a floor lamp to me is very helpful.
I see a few questions asking if the payment office will be open on move-in day. That would be Red Hawk Central. They are open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. They may have extended hours, so keep up on their website. Look at their hours of operation just in case they have some extended hours that week. Is my permanent resident card okay to use as a form of identification?
Yes, that's fine.
Do the dorms have a physical key, keypad, or contact card?
It's different depending on which residence hall you're in. I know the newer halls tend to be ID swipes and a keypad, but some of the older halls are physical keys.
Right. Do do do. What furniture is not allowed? Are rolling desk chairs allowed? Small particle board with bins.
As far as desk chairs, I would say no, because we do provide that. Anything that's provided, a desk, bed, mattress, chair, those items are not allowed. Things like rolling carts, bins, extra like plastic storage, those are allowed. Again, the rooms do get checked by our facilities assistant. So if there's anything that's not allowed, we will communicate that to the student and give them a chance to rectify that before there would be any repercussions, because we do understand that a lot of our students are new. So don't stress. If you have any specific questions about you bought an item that you're really not sure if it's allowed, just send an email to reslife@montclair.edu, attach a picture of the item, and we'll let you know ahead of time.
Great. How many cars can we bring to unload?
I don't believe there's a limit, as many as you need, but just that 10-minute unpacking limit is the same, regardless of how many cars.
Since no curtains allowed, are there blinds?
Yes, there are blinds.
I applied for a room change. How long does it take to answer on average?
Right now we're experiencing up to about 5 to 7 days as far as like actually responding to things, just because of the absolute like volume of the emails that we're receiving. If it is urgent and there is a reason, just follow up with an email because we'll get back to you. The only holdup of like responding to room changes are whether or not we have the space that you're requesting available. So if there's a reason for those room requests, just reach out and we will get back to you as soon as possible.
We're getting through them. Just a few more questions.
Alright.
Do you have beds in Gibson? Do the beds in Gibson also rise up to 36 inches? And is there any storage / cabinets in bathroom?
They do rise up, and not sure that there's storage. I would recommend bringing like a rolling cart or something for the bathroom for extra storage.
Yep, the bathroom only has a towel rack, a shower, and a toilet. So if you wanted extra storage, there is room for a cart.
Thank you, Quinn. I see you're in there answering questions as well, so thank you. Um, do do do. Okay, how long does move-in typically take on average?
It really does depend on the student. I was a very high maintenance student. It took me very many hours because I had a lot of decorations that I wanted to put out. I had a lot of items that I wanted, a lot of clothes. So it really depends on your student. They don't have to unload everything exactly the day that they move in. It can be a process if you don't have a lot of time, but if you have time, you're free to stay all day and do it if you want to.
If someone in our party is handicapped, are there any special assistance provided for move-in?
Absolutely. Just reach out to us ahead of time so that we can do the logistics of accommodating that. But we are more than willing to work with you if that is the case.
I see a few questions asking how to review the room assignment again. I just added the RMS link into the chat, and Bethany, if you want to go a little bit further about that once more.
Great. So depending if your student is a new student or a returner, you'll select those options. And then on the page after that, there's a housing details button that will show you the room number as well as the roommate and suite mate information.
Thank you. It says that there's not a lot of information about Freeman online. Do we have a floor plan or pictures of the room? There actually is floor plans online, but they're a little bit hard to find. Let me see if I can find it while Bethany explains a little bit more.
We also have, if you go to our Instagram, which is just Montclair_reslife, we have walkthroughs of all of our buildings available on our highlights. We're also, if you contact us, I do have measurements for some rooms as well as measurements for showers and stuff like that. Depending on the building, it would be too much to go over all of them right now, but if you have a specific building that you're looking for, you can reach out to either that phone number or that email, and I'd be more than happy to share that information. I do monitor both.
I just added a link in the chat, and the side navigation, you'll click on your dorm and that will show you some of the floor plans. And Candace, hello, you can unmute yourself.
Sorry, I have one more question.
Very good.
I know the closets have like that open concept. You know how they have the adjustable, like those curtain rods where you can put a curtain and close the closet so you don't see the contents of the closet? Is that accepted or prohibited?
I do believe that's prohibited because it's material. I would suggest reaching out to reslife@montclair.edu. The email, I will double check on that tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure of that, so I don't want to tell you no and then be wrong. So if you reach out, I will get you that answer tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Will the rooms be clean upon arrival, or do we have to clean them?
All of our rooms are professionally cleaned over the summer. If there is any issue with that whatsoever, please reach out to us and we will immediately get that taken care of.
Okay. Is there a sink in the room for Blanton Hall?
I believe there's a sink in the bathroom. I don't know if there's one necessarily in the room, but there's definitely one in the bathroom.
There is the bathroom. I lived there when I was a student. The bathroom is only a toilet and a shower. Each room has its own sink and medicine cabinet.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Um, how much space for containers is available? Specifically,
That's,
but
oh, sorry.
here.
That's when I would recommend lifting up the bed, and like maybe getting a little step stool to climb into the bed. That's what I did when I was in college. That really created a lot of storage room for me. So the actual like size of the room and the dimensions we can provide to you if you reach out to us with what residence hall you're in. But I would also really recommend considering raising up that bed if you have the opportunity to do so.
When can students apply for RA positions?
Quinn, would you like to discuss that?
Yeah, so for this year, the RA or CA positions is what we call it, are closed, but you can always stalk us on Handshake. Handshake is what Montclair uses for pretty much all of its hiring. We have like Res Life and even other positions on Montclair State are all on there. You could use the Handshake app, or if you just look up like Handshake hiring, it should bring up the website. And then during the school year, when more positions open up in Res Life, possibly because we're looking for more staff or if other people resigned, you'll get an email about it mid-year. And then typically towards the end of the spring semester, that's when people start looking for more hiring for the next year.
I would also recommend if your student is interested in being a CA or an RA, depending which campus they're on, that there's a lot of different Res Life positions that are available. It's great to start somewhere else in Res Life and move up to those positions because some of them do have credit requirements. I'm not sure off the top of my head what exactly the credit requirements are. But if your student is a first year student, a great opportunity is a desk assistant or an office assistant opportunity, just to get their foot in the door with residence life.
If they have to take medication, sorry. If I have to take medication that may require a needle, do I have to notify anybody?
I'm sorry, Kelsey, I couldn't quite hear that.
If someone has to take medication that may require a needle, do they have to notify anyone about that?
I don't believe so, but I would recommend the Student Health Center, always a great resource if you have any medical questions. Again, I don't have their contact information on the screen, but if you reach out to us, we can forward you to them.
Okay. What's your Insta at?
Montclair_ResLife.
And then I think all the individual residence halls have their own.
They do, and we're really looking to get those up and running and to be advertising our super exciting programs this year. Every hall does have different programming going on all the time, so your students have plenty of stuff to do. They can go to any programming outside of their building, so we're really looking to get those in. All of them are Montclair_ and then the building name.
Do you have can they reach out for dimensions and measurements of the rooms?
Absolutely, I'd be more than happy to assist with that as long as we do have that information.
Do dorms have curfews?
No, your students are free to do as they please, though we do have students at the desks checking them in to make sure that the buildings are secure.
Is the meal plan good to use the day of move-in?
Starting the 24th, the meal plans are active.
If we don't get everything moved in during the move-in period, would they be able to move the rest of their stuff in at a later date?
Yes, absolutely. There's no limit. They would just have to sign you, if you, as the family are helping, they would have to sign you into the building. So make sure to bring some form of ID with you when you are assisting with that.
If no babysitter, can a 7-year-old come on move-in day?
Yes, that's fine.
All family welcome. And then someone said that they thought they heard that bed risers were prohibited.
Bed risers are prohibited since the beds do raise by themselves.
All right. Are students at the desk in residence halls around the clock?
It depends on the residence halls. Quinn was one of our desk assistants, so I will let Quinn speak on this.
Yeah, so every desk has different hours. I know in the Heights, there's at least one desk that's typically open 24 hours around the clock, but it's a little bit different in each residence hall. As far as student staff, there is always going to be some form of staff that you can contact, either at the desk or community assistants who have overnight duty. So there's always someone that you could contact if you needed to.
Are the meal plans activated with the student ID or is it a separate card?
It's a student ID as far as I know.
Yes, it's the student
Okay.
ID. What is the room for TV? What is in the room for TV connection hookup for Denalo Heights?
Do you know that, Quinn?
So there have been changes to the TV things. Usually, if you have a smart TV, they're able to connect to MSU Secure, which is our like student Wi-Fi. Um, but if you have like a regular TV, it would be something to coordinate with IT. Sometimes they can run off of the regular like MSU guest or MSU Wi-Fi, but there are certain ones that you need to hook up like through a port. So that would be something to reach out to IT with.
Again, we can connect you to them. If you contact us, we will more than happily send you to the right department.
Is there a guest limit in the rooms for visits?
I'm gonna let Quinn speak on this too, because I know he knows the
Yes, no
policies.
problem. You're allowed two guests. There's some more restrictions with overnights. So it's at least in the Heights, our policy, and I think it is everywhere, is you're allowed two guests at a time and you're allowed three overnight visitors in a week.
Moving day is a little different. If you have some extra people, that is totally okay. We understand the whole family wants to come, but we just restrict it during the year for roommate understanding.
If the beds raise, what's the highest they go? 36 inches?
Yes.
Can I apply for a payment plan before I'm able to satisfy my dorm? You can apply for a payment plan anytime. They are open right now. I think the 5-month payment plan closes sometime in August. After that, you can enroll in a 4-payment plan for some time, 3-month payment plan. Oh my goodness. And then it will finally close, I think sometime late September or October. So there's plenty of time, but better to get it done sooner. I think there is a late fee at some point. Is Machuga Heights getting new furniture or is it the old furniture?
So part of it has new furniture and part of it has the old furniture. I would reach out to one of the community directors if you're looking for Machuga. That's going to be Taylor. I could drop her email if you'd like. Basically, I believe that it's Barton and Gordon that has gotten the new and Mills and Gibson hasn't. But I would just double check. If anything, you can call the Machuga front desk and they would know.
I know this is preference, but which refrigerators do you see being used the most? The one with freezer space 2 doors or refrigerator single?
I personally love the freezer. Especially if your student likes ice cream. I'm a big ice cream girl, so I loved the one with the freezer. I've definitely seen more of those when people are moving in than just the regular fridge. Because also, if you need to freeze leftovers from your family when they come to visit, that's always really nice. So I recommend the freezer one, but it's really up to your student's preference on food and how long they plan on keeping that food.
I was the ice cream girly and I did not have the freezer. And eventually the like freezer space in the fridge couldn't shut, so it would like freeze over. I recommend the 2-door if you can do it. Are the library study rooms, oops, I lost the question. Oh, are the library study rooms open during midnight for studying? I think during midterms and finals, they do have extended hours, and generally they are open pretty late. I don't know the exact hours on top of my head. You can look. Quinn, do you know it?
Yeah, so the library has specific study rooms, but as far as the study rooms in residence halls, they're typically unlocked 24/7. As long you can be in them as much as you want, but you just have to abide by the residence halls quiet hours. So some of them have like quiet hours and courtesy hours with noise. So you should be able to be in them 24/7. Just be mindful of how loud you're being.
Is the guest limit the same if you were in a suite in Denalo?
Yes. So it's the same thing. It's all per person. So the 2 guests that you're allowed at one time is per person. So you can have 2 guests and your roommate can have 2 guests.
Can we get the link for the microwave fridge rental?
Yes, I can throw that in the chat.
Are the desk chairs comfortable enough, and what is the max weight?
I would say some of the residence halls have different ones. I've seen the ones in Blanton Bone and the Heights. I think that they're all pretty comfortable. And as far as the max weight, I'm not sure about that. I think Beth, is that something that we would have the information for over at Wrestling?
Don't have it on the top of my head, but if you contact us, I can reach out to our facilities department and get that information.
How do I find Walt Whitman Hall?
Okay, so that one's in Whitman.
Yeah.
That's in the Village, right, Beth?
No, Whitman is in one of either Janala or Machuga.
Parker Whitman, yes. Parker and Whitman are in Denalo. That's right. And that's going to be if you go to Denalo, there's 2 desks. If you're on the first floor or the third floor, they'll be able to direct you, like point you which way. It's harder to explain if you're not there.
Do the desk chairs have wheels?
I don't believe so, no.
They do, like some of the wooden ones are like you can lean back on them, but they don't have wheels. Can we change the shower heads in the shower?
It depends on the hall. Some of them you can change them out. So reach out to facilities if you have any questions about that. We have a new facilities platform that I cannot remember the name of off the top of my head, but it will be communicated to students when they move in what that platform is.
Can we bring metal shelves for over the fridge and microwave?
Yes, that's fine.
In Blanton, do the desk in the suite have storage on the table or drawers?
I believe all of our desks have some form of storage in them. Yes.
I just see Machuga question mark. Are you asking how to find Machuga or following up on a question?
I believe those for the shower head changes.
Yes, that I'm sorry, the Machuga question mark was for the shower head.
Yeah, no problem. I believe Capstone has done shower head changes. That's the specific facilities department for the Heights. I would reach out to them and they would be able to know specifically, but when you move in, you can definitely put in like a work order request and see what they say.
Thank you.
All right. Do I have a food plan to get food?
All residential students are required to have a meal plan, so yes.
Blanton Hall shower curtain needed or supplied?
Barton Hall, you need to provide it. Blanton Hall is the only one where you do not need to provide it because it's a weird size shower. If you need the shower dimensions, again, reach out to us and we will provide you with that information.
Alrighty. How do you use the food plan? It's on your ID card. You just hand your ID to whoever is at the counter. Can you bring your own chair for your dorm?
No, because since those are fabric, they are a fire hazard. So we do provide those. Yeah.
Are floor mirrors allowed in the shared hallway in Denalo singles?
Yes, that's fine.
It's a community bathroom or shower in Bone Hall, correct?
Yes, those are community bathrooms. Those are cleaned by our facilities department, our housekeeping department. They are amazing. So um, that's why I love community bathrooms because those are cleaned professionally.
Are the dorm rooms cleaned beforehand or do we have to clean day of?
They should be cleaned beforehand. If you run into any issues with that, please let us know because we want to resolve that as soon as possible. But we don't suspect there will be any issues.
Do we need to bring a shower curtain for Freeman?
Yes.
Is there any storage in the shower for shampoo, etc.?
So if it's in Denalo, there's not, but if you get the there's like storage containers for the shower that have like a hook at the top that hooks over a like what's the word? A shower head. Those typically I use those and they work well for storage for like in the bathroom.
I think I still have mine from college. Do students clean bathroom in Blanton? Does student provide toilet paper or Blanton?
They would need to provide their own toilet paper and they are responsible for cleaning their own bathrooms. The only place where you do not clean your bathrooms is Bone and Stone Hall, which is why I love them so very much.
Um, Bathroom garbage already taken care of by the students? Question mark, where is the garbage chute located in Machuca?
So Machuga, you have your own bathroom that you share with your roommate. So all of the garbage and cleaning is on the student to take care of. The garbage chutes are either going to be at the end of their hall or the end of the other person's hall. It's going to be, there's a chute on every floor.
Are shower hooks available or do we need to bring those?
Great question.
I'm
Quinn, do you know
assuming
the answer to that?
for your towel.
If you're saying shower hooks, like, so there's a shower like bar, a curtain bar, but there isn't like the hooks that you use to hook on the curtain, if that makes sense. You have the bar that you can hook the hooks onto, but it doesn't come with the hooks.
I totally misinterpreted that question. You got it. Do I need to bring a shower curtain for Einstein?
Yes.
Okay. They missed the answer. Can you bring metal shelves?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Where can you find the exact dimensions for the room?
Reach out to us via email or phone, and if we have that information, which we should for majority of the rooms, we will get you that information.
So students need cleaning supplies to clean shower, bathroom, and room in Blanton.
Yes, anywhere other than Bone and Stone, you will need to provide your own cleaning supplies for your bathroom.
In Blanton, where is the garbage thrown out at? And are there garbage days?
Do you know that answer, Kelsey, since you live there?
Yes, there are. I think there are garbage rooms on each floor as well. I'm pretty sure. And I do think that there are garbage days. I don't know how many times a week though. I do remember there being garbage days though. We'll answer just the few more that are here. We are running out of time, but let's see where we're at. Do they need a shower curtain for Stonehall?
Nope, those are communal bathrooms, so we provide the shower curtains.
Is there an Amazon locker for Denalo and will the student, oops, I lost it. And will the student be assigned a mailbox?
So with Denalo, you have a mailbox that you can use for like letters and papers, but for bigger packages or Amazon packages, there's an Amazon locker in the building across the street, Machuga, and that one's the Amazon locker verse.
For as far as the address to use, for the Amazon lockers, there is that information on our website. It lists all of the names of the Amazon lockers
That's 7 minutes.
and the buildings that they're in so that you know which one to ship to. And for their mailbox, that is their PO at their residence hall, that is also on the website where you can formulate that. I have that information in the family portal where you registered for this webinar, so I can send that in the email that will include this recording tomorrow. Showers in Machuga have rods but no curtains. Yes. Some metal tall nightstands have cloth drawers for extra storage. Is that okay?
I would check in with us via email. Again, that's something I'm not sure I know off the top of my head. My suspicion is no, but definitely double check with us.
Okay. Does Denali Heights have public bathrooms? You have your own shared bathroom by you and your suite mates?
That being said, there is a bathroom on, say your roommate is using the bathroom, you really need to go. There is a bathroom on the main floor, at least of Machuga, that I'm 100% sure of, where you can just like go to the bathroom. There's not showers, but there is a place like a toilet stall at least.
Are students responsible for cleaning the room too, like sweeping and mopping?
Yes.
I think as well the rooms are cleaned over break. So when they go home for I think winter break and spring break, I think they are cleaned. Uh, and they'll receive email communications about that and when that will be happening. Should we bring a plunger for the toilet?
I recommend it. Yeah.
And then one more time before we stop taking questions, how do you figure out your floor and room?
So that is going to be available on RMS, which Kelsey did drop the link to. The building is Denali and Machuga are a little different because each hall has a different name. So it kind of depends. We'll guide you to it on the day. We have that information available. So if you know that you're in Denali, just go to Denali. We'll help you find the exact room. That's what the welcome team is here for. But also you can access that information on RMS.
Alrighty. Do students need to move out everything from their room over winter break?
No, as long as you're moving into that same space in the spring, you are completely fine to leave your stuff there.
All right. So thank you everyone for joining us for this webinar. As I said earlier, this has been recorded and will be shared to you hopefully tomorrow, but by the latest at the end of the week or early next week. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to the contact on the screen or respond to any email that you get in your inbox. So thank you all, and I hope you have a smooth move-in. We'll see you there.
Thank you. We're so excited to have you.